Hello everyone and welcome back to Little Norton. We are in the second day of early summer, which makes this episode 8. In the last episode, we had some rain, so we could only work half of the day, and then we worked the morning of the second day of summer last session as well. We sold the silage from the bunker at the farm, got a nice profit from the BGA, and we also bought our new mower, which is to the right of me. Looks very good. And we mowed this new, very cost-effective pasture that we bought in the last session as well. We had to ted it to turn the grass from fresh grass into standard, drier grass. And yep, despite the texture difference, it is all grass. We've got a mixture of dry and semi-dry grass as per Maize Plus. So, what is the job for today? Well, first of all, I'm going to address some comments which I got from some of my watchers regarding the BGA and what to do about it. So if we take a look at the map, we can see that the BGA is down here, and it is a value of £35,196. And the question to the watchers was, should we reimburse this money, or should we buy and sell the biogas plant as we need it? As in reality, a biogas plant is there, and the farmer wouldn't keep buying it, or buy it and own it outright to be able to sell silage and whatever material to make biogas. So I had a few comments back from Remington Box, Feldin and Nordic Farming, so thank you very much for those. And the overwhelming majority was to reimburse the money of the biogas plant. But I'm going to pick up on a comment from Nordic, which was that obviously we take benefit from the bunkers that are on the other side of the road here, and perhaps we should pay some money towards those to contribute. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to reimburse myself 2/3 of the value of the whole plot. So we're not going to pay for this biogas plant, but we are going to pay for the smaller plot with the bunkers. So that is £23,464 that we're going to reimburse ourselves. So I'm going to do that right now. There we go, 23,465. And that takes our total up to 48,444, which is really, really good. So, jobs for today. I'm deciding to mix it up rather than collecting this grass via the loading wagon and taking it to a bunker to ferment. I'm actually going to start doing some baling. So I've got a baler in mind that we're going to purchase later. But first job is I need to nip back to the farm and take this loading wagon back with me. So if we drop the tedder there and switch it round to the front, probably going to cause all sorts of traffic mayhem whilst I do this. Oh, just one car who rudely nearly sidescaped me. I guess I was in the way. Yeah, first job is getting the tedder and the loading wagon back to the farm. Whilst at the farm, we're going to pick up the windrower, which we're going to need. And I'm also going to pick up the front loader, as we're going to need to buy an attachment which will allow us to pick up some bales. And then we're going to mosey on down to the shop where we're going to purchase our baler. And I look forward to showing you which one I've chosen. You can probably guess which brand I've gone for. Yep, I will see you at the shop. And here we are at the shop. So, baler time. It's really nice to be able to get a baler for baling up all the various things we're going to need to bale in the future. This time it will obviously be grass. So let's take a look at baling technology. So as you might have gathered, I have obviously gone for a John Deere baler, and it looks to be a fantastic mod. I did give it a test, and yeah, it is the John Deere 690. So obviously a quadrant baler, and just looks to be of the same era as our mower, maybe slightly newer, but it's got that old feel to it, and it is a very good price. I don't set any of these prices, these are the prices of the mods. So you can change the colour of the wheels, but we're going to go for the John Deere yellow, and of course we are going to get it used to save £3,800. It is very cheap already, but I need to watch every single penny I can to make sure we get the best value out of the equipment and so forth. Just drop the windrower there, attach on to the baler so we can get it serviced at the shop, and then we've also got our front loader attachment to purchase as well. So probably best I do that without the windrower, as the windrower is quite long and difficult to manoeuvre. So let's get the baler serviced up. Might as well do the tractor while we're here as well. So very nice, all nicely serviced. And then we want to get our front loader attachment. So the one I'm going to give a try this time, I'm not going to get bale forks, because when we come to wrapping some bales, I don't want to be poking through them. But I'm happy to sort of poke through them once the silage is created. So we might get another bale fork in the future. Okay, so strangely enough it is in baling technology rather than front loader. And it is £1,050. Of course will get used. Hoses, yeah, we'll get that just so it looks a bit more real, and then we need it for a front loader rather than a telehandler. So let's pick that up and get that serviced as well. So this front loader baling fork, I don't know what you'd call it, grab, you sort of hover over the square bale and then you get to adjust the arm closed to pick it up. We'll give it a try and see how it gets on. If it's not working too great, then we'll switch it up. Right, baler dropped just behind the windrower. We'll attach the windrower and then hopefully line it up nicely with the baler and get that attached. What a cool train that is. I do like having sort of multiple things attached to one another, but it does not suit the roads of Little Norton that well, so when it comes to taking it home and back to the farm, we will have to probably do certain bits one at a time, just to make sure we're not going to damage any equipment taking any tight corners. So let's nip back to the field. Here we are, that wasn't so bad. So just going to get it off the road so we don't have any collisions, and we can then get our windrower unfolded, and we can get the baler unfolded as well. Good to see this in action. Turn it on and lower it, and then we can get the windrower not folded again, but lowered. There we go. So I'm going to go the reverse way of how I mowed, or the headland at least, and windrow our grass into nice neat rows, whilst the baler collects it up and pushes out our grass bales. Got to say, it's working very efficiently and a good speed, 12 mile an hour. Pretty good considering probably quite horsepower heavy running all this equipment. So I want to make sure I get all the bits around the edges. Lovely. Our first bale is dropping off there nicely. Excellent. I'm going to get the whole field done, and I will see you when we are finished. And there we are. Just going to push out the remaining bales. We've got 51% left in the baler. So just going to pull forward and leave that there. Get the windrower folded up and just put out of the way for now. To be fair, it can actually just sit right there until we need to pick it up. But there's one thing I'd like to just talk about and demonstrate. So in the last episode we mowed this field and we tedded it. And the reason why we tedded it is when you mow grass when you're running Seasons and Maize Plus, the grass that is cut is called fresh grass. And if you collect that up and put that in a bunker to ferment, it doesn't accept it. You need to ted the grass to dry it to a certain state to be able to ferment it. Whereas, from some of the testing that I've done, the mower, which is now nicely windrowing it in for us, is producing windrows of fresh grass. But when we go past it with the baler, it seems that we end up with grass bales anyway. So it seems that if you're going to collect up the grass to put in a bunker, you need to ted it. Whereas if you're just going to collect it with a baler and then wrap it, you don't need to do the tedding aspect. So what I'm going to quickly do is just mow some of the bits that I didn't do around the edges, and just do a pass with the baler, see if we can get another bale or two out of it, just to add to our collection, which, yeah, if I haven't mentioned already, we are going to wrap. So I'm going to be going to the shop to purchase a wrapper, and I'll talk about that a bit more when we get to it. But for now, I'm just going to go around the edge of the field and then grab the baler to just show that we don't need to ted it if we're going straight into a baler. So yeah, I will see you shortly. Right, so we have finished collecting up the grass which we just freshly mowed but did not ted. Let's get the baler folded up and we can just drop that over here as well. Fields littered with equipment. But we'll just leave the tractor there for a second, as you might have seen that as it was going through the baler, the grass that it was picking up was registering as fresh grass. But if we look at the bales, we see that the two we just dumped out, which was collecting up the fresh grass, is a grass bale of 4,000 litres, and then the two that we dumped out earlier is also grass. So I don't know if this is sort of a bit of a workaround in the game or something that's genuine, but yeah, if you are planning to bale fresh grass, you don't need to ted it, as it all comes out as grass bales. Whereas if you plan to load up fresh grass or grass into a loading wagon, you need to ted it before you can put it in a bunker. So just a little tip there, something that I've found out through playing. Fantastic, so we've got a lot of grass bales here, and the next step is going to be wrapping those bales so we can ferment them into silage. And I have picked out a, well, it's not cheap, but it is a good wrapper that will do the quadrant square bales, and it is also geared up and ready for wrapping clover, alfalfa, and one other, which I'll have to check when we get to the shop. But yeah, some of the balers, or wrappers rather, don't come ready and enabled to handle alfalfa bales or clover bales. So yeah, definitely need to make sure we pick one out that can handle those types of crop. So here we are at the shop again. We are frequent visitors to the John Deere dealership at Little Norton. The wrapper we're going to get is down the list here. Just bear with me while I find it. So I did think about this one, which yeah looked to be good, the Deutz-Fahr Wrapmaster, but it only deals with sort of standard bale types, whereas the one we are going to need is this one, which is the Kuhn SW 4014 Clover and Alfalfa. So this is basically prepared to deal with alfalfa, clover, and it looks like it can do horse hay. I'm not sure what this is. That might be field grass. But yeah, it's basically going to cover us for all of the crop types we have as part of Maize Plus. So we're going to go ahead and buy that, and I'm hoping, yep, if we buy it used, we do save £17,000, which is really, really useful to us, and only costs us 36,720, which leaves us with about 4,000 in the bank. For what we need next, I think I'm going to go with a sort of light greenish foil colour. So let's go ahead and buy that. We'll of course need to get it serviced up, but it looks good. I've not used this one, but I have seen the Kuhn, either the alfalfa and clover ready one or just the standard Kuhn wrapper in action before. I think I actually may have used the standard Kuhn one that's like this in a contract in the early days of Ravenport. So let's get this repaired. £361. There we go. Right, let's get back over to the field. And I feel it worth saying that the mods that are provided by the community are absolutely fantastic, and they just unlock the game's potential. So as an example, the used machinery mod. If we had not had that, this farm would not be where it is 8 episodes in. We would have still been at the point of having to buy new machinery, and it's really difficult to say how far we would have come along. It probably wouldn't have come along very far at all. So used machinery is obviously something you can do in real life. You can buy used machinery from auctions, or special events, or even from dealerships. It's just a real life thing. So I'm so glad that the modder who made the used machinery mod incorporated that into the game, and then all the other machinery like the John Deere baler we bought today. Just incredible. It looks fantastic, and one thing that I need to show you when we get back to the field is the mechanics of that baler. It just looks great. So let's do that right now. Actually, we'll drop off the wrapper. Oh god, there's a cement mixer coming. He actually stopped. How incredible. Right, so I'm just going to turn the baler on for demonstration purposes. Get it unfolded. Even that animation is just cool. And let's just jump up to take a look. Now, I'm not sure if you get this with all the balers in the game, but to be able to see this detail here, the shafts moving, all the cranks turning, it's just really, really cool. So yeah, shout out to the modders for that one. And yeah, I don't list my mods out, but if you ever want to have a look at which one I'm using, then just look at the video and what the attachment says when I'm coming up to the machinery. So you can see it's the John Deere 690, and they're all from the game's inbuilt mod hub. I don't download any mods from anywhere else. Cool, so let's get the wrapper attached back, get it unfolded, and drive on down to our first bale. There we go, picked it up, wrapping it nicely. We'll make use of the wrapping time and go to the next one. Unload that there and move on to the next. And also what I might do is, whilst we've got the wrapper picking up the bales, it might be advantageous to move them all a bit closer together so we don't have to journey when we manually pick them up later. So I'm going to set about the task of wrapping all these bales, and I'll see you when we're done. And there we are. Now picking up the final bale from what I can see. I hope I've not missed any. But yeah, as you've probably noticed, I've been trying to utilise the wrapping time to help sort the bales into closer proximity of each other. As we don't have enough money for a auto stacker, I thought it would be useful to get them close to one another, so when it comes to manually putting these on a trailer to then take to the BGA, we've got an easier job on our hands. So we've got 3 distinct piles, bottom, middle and top really. This one in the middle turned out to be a little bit messy, and yeah, I think that's something I'll only do whilst I'm having to manually collect up the bales. Hopefully in the future we can just wrap the bales where they sit and come around with the auto stacker later on. Cool, but yeah, we've got quite a few bales there. I've not counted them, but yeah, it's going to make for quite a long job in the next session to load those all up. And yeah, you've seen the time. It's getting closer to 6 o'clock now. So we're going to have to start to do a bit of tidy up, get some equipment back to the farm. Let's just let this truck go through. So that's what I'm going to do next. And we'll start by taking the windrower and the baler back to the farm. Before we do, actually, let's just go have a little inspection on some of the bales. So we switch to the scanner. We can see that we're 1% fermented, 48 hours to go. So by day 4 of early summer, day 4 of summer, I think we'll move into midsummer in days 3 and 4, 6 days per season. So yeah, we will hopefully have these ready by day 4 of summer, which would be good. So those can just stay here. Obviously they're wrapped, so they're not going to rot away. But we will want to clear them up next time so we can get on to doing some work with this field here. I'm preparing it for what we want to do next with it. I've had a couple of ideas of what might be good. So yeah, we'll get on to that next time. Right, back at the field. We are losing daylight. It's 6:30, but these summer evenings are much lighter. So I've asked our helper to follow us back to the farm. Yeah, hopefully he's able to avoid the traffic. And I'm in the mower, as that's the more difficult machine to negotiate the roads of Little Norton. So, yeah. Oh, I took out a road sign. Council are not going to be happy with me. But let's get back. Safe and sound. Right, so here we are back at the farm. I've parked the John Deere mower in there. It can manoeuvre around the corner quite nicely, so that's really good. And I'm just going to put the bale wrapper in under here next to header. Nice. Cool, so that is it for today. Obviously we started off by getting some equipment back to the farm, dealing with the money situation for the BGA. We bought our new baler and windrowed and baled all the grass quite nicely. We then purchased our new wrapper, which has done a fantastic job, and wrapped all the bales and got them into sort of 3 neat-ish piles ready for when we can come and pick them up in the next session. And there's our fantastic new baler. And yeah, we also managed to do a bit more mowing around the edges and collect up the fresh grass straight into grass bales. Yeah, which was quite handy. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed watching. As always, a big thank you for any likes, views, subscribes. If you've got any tips, tricks, things you'd like me to try, then feel free to leave a comment. Check out my Discord channel. There's a small but growing community there, sharing some good FS19 pictures and some real life farming media as well. But yeah, I will look forward to seeing you next time, when we'll be collecting up the bales and probably taking them over to the BGA so they're ready to be dropped off. Yes, I shall leave you on this nice early summer evening with the sun going down quite nicely over there. Yep, catch you next time. Cheers then. Bye bye.